House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
All right, half a day, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are in Santa Rita today, the beautiful rolling hills. You know, there's some rain coming in here. So Liz and Gina are here. There's Gina, there's Liz. We are got something special for our viewers today. We're going to show you guys a container home. Tiny homes are all the thing on social media, but we got a real good one for you today, right?
Yeah, our Guam Pinterest container home.
Okay, well, let's go. And we are going to the home of a friend of ours.
Russ Young.
Russ
This is
Young.
his home. So we wanted to show what he's done.
And this is literally in a container, everybody. Look, hey, Russ.
Hi, Russ.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Half a day.
Half a day, sir.
All right. Thank you for having us at your home.
No problem.
Okay,
Come on in.
your container home, which is how long of a container, Russ?
How long in time, or?
No, or how long of in terms of dimensions, like how big, how wide?
Oh, you're talking 2,800 square feet between the two floors. And downstairs this area is about 960.
Wow.
And then the two bedrooms would be what, 16 by 40. So, you know, you'll see it as you go through.
Okay, and this is multiple containers put together, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Fantastic. Okay, and you see, Russ, how long have you been working on this now?
Actually, because of the pandemic, we started I think it was 2018, and then the pandemic hit. We actually got our blueprints 4 days before the pandemic officially started. Wow. And so prices went, as you know, triple, and so it was put on the back burner until a year and a half ago. We woke it back up again and got my contractor's license and my building permit.
Okay, I was gonna look at the permit, Russ, but that view is unbelievable. To wake up to that every single day.
Absolutely.
You are a blessed man.
No, I'm a numb man.
No, okay, well, numbed by the amazing power of nature and
Yes.
everything. All right, ladies.
Well, we wanted
No
to...
one knows that real estate is. I'm at a loss for words.
Yes, but when I saw this, we wanted to feature alternative housing projects. And Russ, definitely, he's still finishing it off. But as you can see, he
Loving
made
the
it
telescope.
doable.
Okay, yeah. Now this isn't basically just like a container. I mean, Russ, you have all the full amenities. We have power, water, internet connectivity,
No, I have everything you have at your
sewage.
house.
Yeah.
No, I have
Or-
a septic system.
Septic. Okay. Oh, okay.
So-
Well, up here, even the concrete homes are on septic.
Septic,
There's no
yeah,
sewer
no
system.
sewer.
Ah, okay. Good point. Okay. Okay, so we are in your living room right now, Russ. If you would, take us through what you got.
Well, this segment right here will be the entertainment segment, and then the other half there will be the dining segment, and then in the kitchen, as you see, and,
All right, watching the blacklist. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
and then and this side will be the sleeping accommodations. Then and over that side there will be your bathroom and cleaning facilities.
Okay, and I love the Spanish guitar. How long have you been playing?
Well, I lost a finger in this job, so I can't play now.
Oh no. Okay.
So it
Well, Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, and kind of the same thing happened to him, and he had a pretty good career too.
Yeah, it was the beginning of my life. That was my career, but
There you go.
when I came to Guam, life changed.
Okay. Well, would you consider this a work in progress? I mean, you're, by no means are you completed. There's a lot of things going on right now, but this is amazing. I mean, the air
Actually,
conditioning.
I don't want it to complete
Okay.
because if it completes, then what am I going to do? Go fishing every day?
That-
So I'm not anxious. I'm not in a big hurry.
okay.
It's just keeping the building permit and the contractor's license and everything to comply. When you take longer, it costs more.
Okay. Well, Gina, I'll give you the honors of leading us to the lavatory and the master bedroom.
Well, before we do that, I want to point out that Russ is not your typical homeowner. He has the ability. You're doing self-construction, I'm assuming, and I've gone down that road too with my son. But you have the ability to do this work. Most people can't. But one of the questions I wanted to ask is, what made you decide to build with containers versus just doing it with concrete?
Well, concrete is something I've my whole life. I'm from Miami, Florida, And my father was a contractor and a builder, and I worked for him, of course. And a lot of the influence you see here is his influence. So that was abandoned when I actually moved to Guam. I didn't do much building, I didn't do much contracting, but I still had it, except I worked for your husband at DCA for a while after the gun club was destroyed. So then the challenge think began in 2017 or 18, where my wife and I were throwing things back and forth about, we found this property and we bought it, and we were throwing things back and forth of what do we want to put on the property, and we landed on containers. So then I put my original designs and drawings together, and I hired an architect who drew it up. It was March 28th, I believe, when we got our building. No, that's when the pandemic started, was on that day.
Yes, March.
April 1st, I got my contractor's license and my building permit, and prices went sky high.
Yes.
So I was stuck with putting it on the back burner until a year and a half ago, and we woke it back up again. And
Are you finding that using containers as an alternative to concrete is more affordable? Can you vouch for that?
well, when I initially put the numbers together before the COVID prices, the cost from the contractor's office was at that time was $135 per square foot for just your standard house with turnkey.
And do me a favor, Russ, while we talk about that, let's go and check out the
Sure.
master bedroom as you can. Okay, so you were talking about the price per square foot.
So the cost for doing this at that time, after I did the numbers, was $64 a square foot.
Wow.
So it gave a lot of elbow room to play with things, and that changed when COVID hit. So the last time I checked, building prices went up to the cost was $235 a square foot, and I'm up at $134.
Wow.
I'm $134 a square foot.
Okay, we've got multiple split unit air conditionings here, and air conditioning units, I should say. Here is literally where the containers were combined with the living room and the master bedroom. And I mean, Russ, when I was driving up here, like going past Apper Heights, and I was thinking, I was like, inside a container, would it feel like at all claustrophobic or a little bit compressed? That is absolutely not the case here. There is ample space.
No, and it's quiet. Believe it or not, because behind this wall, you'll see there's not this one. This one is because it's an adjoining wall. Behind these walls, you're seeing insulation, and the insulation, and then you've got the fiberglass insulation on that. So you've got 22 R value in insulation, and included in the roof, the same. So with that R value, the aircon, my electric bill is not that expensive.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's been so brutally hot for the last several weeks. Do you feel any of that right now? Does it permeate through the walls?
No.
Wow.
So
incredible.
my electric bill is virtually the same consistently.
Okay.
So it's going to be better because I just painted the roof on this section
Okay.
last week.
And you got a hot tub outside. You might not want to use it right now because the rain's coming in over the valley. But would you show us the bathroom, Russ?
Sure.
And I never thought I'd ask that on TV.
I want to show you.
Oh, sure.
You take a look at the thickness
Yeah,
of the
the
walls.
walls.
So that adds to the insulation as well, right? Look at how thick
Well,
his walls
this
are.
isn't exposed to the exterior, so it doesn't have too much, but it definitely adds to the sound. You can have the TV and stereo up in here, and no problem.
Okay, so this is the bathroom facility, right? Look at that.
But again, I want to stress that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
he
that's abundantly
actually-
clear.
Yes, he knows exactly what
everybody.
he's doing, so he can pull this off. For most of us, we probably need a professional to help us to guide us through this project.
Well,
But he has the ability to do it.
Maybe Russ will serve as a consultant for anyone interested in doing
So this is the laundry room. We have, that's a refrigerator? Oh,
No,
no.
that's just a closet.
No, what am I
Yeah,
saying? You wouldn't
yeah.
put a refrigerator in the bathroom?
Yeah. So this will be
Clearly, Russ, I have not ever built my own home.
this will be a jacuzzi tub on this side. over
Okay.
here. So and then of course the ladies' vanity here, and then the access to the bedroom right there.
Hot tub.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and right there into the master bedroom. Wow.
Look, I wanted to point out, if you look up into the ceiling,
I will do
you
that.
can see the joints. He cut this. These are two containers
Ah.
put together, and you can see how he trimmed it and fused it together. Like I said, like Gina said, only someone who knows what they're doing.
Can I be honest? I've never used a plasma cutter in my life before
Until-
this project.
And then you.
I think you
use
figured it out, Russ.
He figured it out.
Yeah, nice cut.
Also on the welding side, the welding is something I'd done one time in my life and it hurt my eyes, and I swore that was not going to ever be my profession. But in this case, I was forced to because there's a lot of welding involved.
Yeah.
Well, I think we want to come back and can't wait till you seal all the walls and
Get the
get
aftershocks.
everything, everything in place. I think it'll be well worth the
This
visit.
is absolutely magnificent, Russ.
Yes. Can you imagine? We can already see how beautiful
This is going to be, yes,
Yeah.
for
And
sure.
the upstairs will basically, it's this size right here on the second floor.
Yes.
And upstairs will be just one big open space with about this much space right here, 8 feet. That's going to house the bathroom and a small little kitchen area up there for guests, family, whoever comes to visit.
Okay.
And then on above
Like a
this,
big open deck too, or are you gonna have one of those up?
straight above this,
Okay.
you're going to have a very large deck overlooking the valley.
Dining al fresco. I love it.
Yep.
You know, Russ, I took maybe about 35 years ago, I took an art history class at UOG, and I don't think any painting we ever looked at in that class, even with the rain, does justice to this absolutely amazing view. I mean,
Yeah, even with the rain.
yeah. Imagine eating your corn pops every morning when you're looking at that.
Well, I'd get up before daylight, so I wouldn't be seeing it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Okay, now I'm always I'm just, you know, I mean, I work in software, so I'm naturally paranoid about everything, right? What are some pitfalls or things you wish you could have done differently?
At this
Hindsight being 2020.
At this point, I think between the architect, Willie Flores,
Oh yeah, Willie, former senator, nice guy.
very, very big and helpful. He's on call all the time. Between that and just the internal drive to have a final project in life that means something. So that's the motive and the driving.
And you're saving a ton of money. And I mean, again, like this by no means feels cramped, compressed, enclosed, claustrophobic, not at all. I mean, I really feel as if there's like a lot of like lounge space here, for lack of a better term.
Well, the external, once the underneath the blue tarps outside is all cedar siding, so the whole outside will be V-matched with like the front
The front
entrance.
entryway, which
The
is
Yeah.
really
whole
nice.
building, so you
That's
won't
gonna
even
be
know
really
it's
nice.
containers once that is completed.
Okay, and as you said, you know, this is a perpetually unfinished product, and I think that's a beautiful way to say that. What will be the first meal when you get that upper deck going and everything like that? What will be the first thing you and your wife actually prepare for yourselves to kind of like sit back and have a wonderful dinner at Island Sunset?
You're gonna have to ask her.
Follow-up interview for sure.
Yes, this is kind of working out very valuable for us because living, and she's Japanese, and living in this condition in construction zone, trust me, is not her lifestyle. And her mother is 95 and didn't have anyone caretaking for her. So it's been perfect that she's able to be there for her mother, and then every 6 months she comes back to spend some time.
And these, I just got to say, these are individually placed, aren't they, Russ?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's and we have twins.
Yeah.
Painstaking detail and masterfully done.
You can take the word pain away.
Stakingly done.
No, it's like doing a puzzle.
But it's lovely. It really adds to the look of the place.
You know,
can
he
imagine
sent.
when it's done.
This all started when he sent me a video, and he wanted to show me what he started, and it was just 2 containers, I think, at the time, and they were cutting open the area, And when I saw that video, yeah, but it has come away since the last video you sent me.
Yes.
And when I saw that, we got to go up there and video this. So luckily
Actually,
he agreed.
it's the influence of her husband and my employment for him that gave me the step and courage, because I didn't know much about building permits and contractor's license, and the staff inside DCA that work with that every day. And so the time I spent working for DCA was very valuable to me. And actually, DCA is the one at fault for making this decision, because my project was the Baza Gardens to Agate sewer line. And I was looking for a place to have lunch every day. And so I'm driving different places, and one day I drove onto the property and had lunch here, and I really
in
liked
love.
it. And so I brought my wife and my son down, and we all fell in love with it, and we decided to proceed this direction.
And here you are.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell John and give him some credit.
No, he deserves a lot, because had it not happened, I may not have taken that step this direction. I may have ended up not even being on Guam. Who knows?
Well, Russ, I got to say
Wonderful.
thank you for sharing your home with us, with our viewers. This is absolutely magnificent. But all of my teachers in elementary school told me, you can't stop talking, boy, and I'm running out of superlatives to act
But
like.
if anybody else wants to try to achieve this, I do have some influence in my life and education there of building, but most of my life was running and operating my own businesses. So it's only my younger years, but anybody can really do this. And I want to compliment the Public Works and the people there that you get your building permit and your contractor's license from, because that was a real shady area for me. I've never had to walk that path. And so when I had to go through that, I was very nervous. And they were great. They made it so simple and made it work. And
Outstanding. We'll tell you what,
Here you are.
I love island sunrises and sunsets, but I also love island rainstorms too. So ladies, thank you for this, and let's
Thank you.
let's
Thank you,
just end
Jason.
taking a look at this rain falling over the valley.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.